The statements and content included in this video are jokes and for satirical entertainment purposes only. They should not be taken literally and do not reflect the actual beliefs or personal views of those depicted or involved with this production.
Think about this, right, guys?
So, guys, today we got Myron Gaines making this pale, ugly liberal woman absolutely lose her SHIT.
Here, I'm here to have an actual like debate with you, okay? I'm not
Sure.
here. I'm not here to antagonize you or villainize you. I want to understand you, and I hope maybe you'd want to understand me. Is that okay?
So, this pale broad, who probably uses an umbrella to hide from the sun, came into this conversation talking about, I don't want to antagonize you or villainize you. I'm just here to have a debate. But you can hear in her voice that she does not like Myron at all. She despises Myron the same way I despise Fresh. She came in there trying to sound rational and respectful, but she forgot to adjust her voice. The words she's saying are cool, but the tone of voice says it all. She's obviously there in bad faith. We can all hear the demon in her voice. And honestly, bro, I don't even blame her. I mean, just look at her. For you to be this pale, you gotta be missing 80% of your soul. This is a soulless, pathetic creature. She might be more pathetic than Fresh. I mean, at least Fresh is black, and he thinks about this. And he's also soft-spoken like a gay man. This woman sounds like a chimpanzee. So this liberal zombie came to ask Myron, why do you think men should be dominant?
I think guys need to be in a position where they are the dominant and the leader in the relationship.
So I would like to understand why exactly do you think that? Is it what is causing this? Is it like an instinctual thing? Do you think it's based off biology, psychology?
What in
religion,
particular?
belief? Like the idea that the man should be dominant. What is the backing thought process for this?
Even if you're a liberal or a feminist, does it take that many brain cells to understand that the male gender is a dominant one? Like, how stupid do you gotta be to not understand that? Even when I was a little boy, my mom yelling at me was nothing compared to my dad. Bro, my dad's yell would make me scared of him for a week, and I'm pretty sure you guys relate. My mom had to hit me for me to listen when all my dad needed was his voice. Even a 5-year-old understands that the male gender is the dominant one. So for this grown-ass woman to think there's a possibility the female gender is a dominant one, at this point, woman, it seems like you're asking for the Chris Breezy hands. Is that what you're asking for? Like, do you want me to prove to you the male gender is a dominant one?
Well, it's how society has thrived for centuries. You know, the man is the head of the household. He's the leader. He protects and provisions. And this is how we've been able to build up the society we enjoy now. And it's only with modernity and feminism that women have been able to kind of do the things that they do. But at the end of the day, I would argue most women want a traditional man who's going to be a provider, going to be a protector, and adhere to these traditional masculine traits.
Bro, this pale, ugly woman should be thankful we no longer live in caveman times. Because in caveman times, Myron would not have explained this to her verbally. He would have to get up and show her the real dominance.
Women would be able to be mothers, would ever be able to be wives. If a man is being a provider, clearly you would want something in return, right? I mean, like...
Yeah, to obey me.
Oh, I don't... If you want people to hear you out, I don't really think obey would be the best word to use. I mean, like, obey kind of implies that there's a lack of free will and thought. Would you think?
Interesting. So you say there's a lack of free will there, but is there, I mean
with the term obey, like the connotation that it provides when you say the word obey.
Yeah, because here's the thing. I find it interesting that on my end, I'm protecting and providing, and the one thing I ask in return is for her to obey, but that's a problem. See, that's
Well, I didn't say it was a problem.
Because here's the thing. Here, let's be honest here, right? So this is what I mean when I say modern feminism poisons women. Women want a guy who's going to be a protector and a provider and a good man. But if he asks, hey, I need you to obey me in return, she'll say, I don't like that word. Why do I need to obey you? Well, you need to obey me because I'm the one that's responsible for you. So if I'm responsible for you, that means I'm supposed to have authority over you as well.
Well, if you would like to have a conversation without putting words in my mouth where I said that I had a problem with the term, like, obeying people, I just said that if you want other people to agree with you, maybe find a different term that would, kind of incline people to agree. Secondly...
Well, that's the problem. People are too soft. That's the truth. We need women to obey us.
Says the guy who's here complaining about women?
Oh, here we go. The demon is coming out. Give this liberal bitch her Xanax. This ugly creature is out here telling Myron to not use the word obey. But the reality is the feminists will hate Myron no matter what he says. So he might as well just say whatever he wants. I mean, she must not know what Myron be saying on Twitter.
Fine, but...
I'm very familiar with the fact that, like, women, like, if they hear a certain word, they get triggered and they can't listen to anything else. But, again, that's an inherent flaw in women because they're so emotional. But the reality is, like, as a woman, if you're in a relationship with a guy and he's doing what he's supposed to do, protect and provide for you, you need to obey him.
So wait, okay, you have a problem with women being overly emotional, yet you want them to be providers to children. That implies that there needs to be some type of emotional nurture there. So is the problem that women are too emotional, or that they're not emotional enough?
No, what I'm talking about is in this context where the term obey immediately triggered you.
I'm not triggered.
Okay.
Do I look angry?
Yes, you do, and you also look very ugly. There's a reason why most liberal feminists are so ugly. If I were an ugly girl, I'd probably be a feminist too. I don't blame them, because what kind of respectable man is marrying this? You do not stand a chance. You might as well just be a liberal feminist, man. That's the best option for this creature right here.
No, what I'm saying is that with men, right, when I say the term obey, guys just get it. They don't get offended by... this is actually a phenomenon I've noticed only with women. Like, when I tell guys stuff and I speak very direct, they don't care. They just consume the information. Okay, that makes sense, and move on. They're not really too concerned with how it's said or the terms that are used. But with women, a lot of the times, if I don't use certain terms or speak in a certain tone, they get offended and can't take in the information. And I think if women were a bit more receptive to the direct nature of the things I say, they'd be a lot better off, because I'm very honest about it.
It sounds like men tend to obey you more than women.
Well, I mean, if they listen to what I say, they'll probably do pretty well in life, yeah.
If you want someone to obey you, why don't you just go with guys?
That's a good one.
I'm just a genuine question.
Genuine question. Even her voice is ugly, bro. This woman right here is just a fucking disaster, man. And guys, you know what's funny? Walter, the Goomba, would still smash this and hear her moans.
Now, here's the thing. I understand that you might be in a privileged position where dating and getting men to court you isn't that hard, but for average guys, it's not that easy. So
Well,
a lot
I
of
don't
guys
need
need to
anyone
learn
to
this
court
stuff.
me. I'm not looking for that. There's more to my life than worrying about what the other sex does.
Okay, well, you have that privilege since you're a woman and the men come to you. But
They
men
don't
need to
come
figure
to
this
me.
stuff out.
I came to you to talk to you.
Again.
Did you come to me? I don't think
no,
so.
No, but this is us having a discussion here. What I'm saying is that, like, you're maybe
What?
like a 3 or 4. So, like, you're going to have
Okay.
more market pull, right, than a guy that's like a 7 or an 8. You're going to have more options than the average guy. So for you, right, you're getting an abundance of options, whereas guys are not going to get that same level. So, and the other thing, too, with women is women are just simply better at dealing with the opposite gender. Men need to learn this stuff. Guys don't kind of come out understanding female nature. They have to learn this stuff either through someone teaching them or
I
through
don't think I took a
losses.
crash course on how men work.
I'm sorry?
I didn't take a crash course on how men work. Why do men need to take a crash course on women?
Myron is being nice to her. She's a 1, bro. This right here is not a 3 or 4. This is a 2 on a good day, bro. She's uglier than fresh.
Because men, here's the thing, men have to build up the attraction and approach the women. They're the ones that got to make things happen. Women don't. You guys are in a privileged position where the men just come to you.
So you
But,
guys are stupid, basically.
I mean, if that's the conclusion you're going to come to, I
No,
guess.
that was a question. That wasn't a conclusion. It was a question.
No, it's a learned skill that they need to develop to learn how to properly deal with women. So
Why
that
do
they
you
don't
need to
end
learn
up-
how to deal with people?
See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. I teach guys to avoid women like you, as a matter of fact.
Thank you. Stay away
Yeah.
from me.
Yeah, well, I don't know. You should be in the kitchen somewhere, but it's fine. We'll have this discussion. Yeah,
What do you mean stay away from me? I don't think any man wants to talk to you. I don't think this woman has ever been approached by a man in her entire life. I think she should transition. She might do better as a man.
reality is, what was that? Yes. Probably
I've
can't
not
cook either.
insulted you once this entire time.
See, this is precisely the problem. Combative, assertive women that, don't want to necessarily obey or know when to, be quiet when I'm making
Who
a
the f- are you to tell me to obey you? I'm
Yeah,
not
she's
your
really pissed.
woman. I don't need to obey you. I'm not in a relationship with you. I'm trying to have a conversation with you. I don't need to obey you.
Well, you're
under
just kind of
means.
just talking over me when I make my point or answer your questions or trying to, instigate some type of reaction, which is cool. I think it's funny. It's interesting. But
Well,
I
aren't
think,
you instigating a reaction
Yeah.
by being here on a campus with people who are more or less going to have different...
Well, I'm just telling the uncomfortable truth that a lot of people don't want to hear.
So it's okay for you to be instigative and combative whenever you want to share your truth.
And look at this, another ugly liberal feminist. I'm trying to tell you guys, they're all ugly.
You want them to be quiet, and you think that they aren't obeying you.
Yes, because a man's job is to be a leader and be assertive and convey information. You guys will be quiet and make sandwiches. That's the difference.
You can make your own sandwich. If you need to take a crash course on how to talk to other people, you can take a crash course on how to make a sandwich.
Anyway.
If you're such a strong provider, provide!
You sound mad that, do you know how to make a sandwich?
Yeah, I do. Can I teach you?
No, thank you. That's a woman's job.
for a living? Genuine question. What's your job?
Yeah, we get to the next person.
Why can't you answer? Why can't you
I think it's
answer what
pretty
your job
obvious
is?
what I do. I mean,
Well, it's not. I'm a stupid woman, so could you explain to me what you do as a living for your job?
No, don't say that. You're an ugly woman, that's what you are. That's even worse than stupid. We can all deal with a stupid, pretty woman, but nobody can deal with a smart, ugly woman, except Fresh. He loves fat, ugly women. Like the video and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.